Hi everybody, this is the video for lesson Natural Selection, lesson 1.5 about adaptive traits. So our I can statement for this lesson is here. I can understand that a particular trait may be adaptive in some environments, but not in others. And that factors in the environment determine if traits are adaptive or non-adaptive. So if you're not remembering what adaptive and non-adaptive means, take a look at lesson 1.4 for those definitions to refresh your brains. So for part one, you are evaluating a claim. Our claim today is yellow color is always an adaptive trait in a yellow environment. So you're going to tell me if you agree or disagree with that. So when we're thinking about our australopes, if they are yellow in a yellow environment, are they going to adapt to that environment? Okay, part two, we are going to test this out. So we're investigating environment A in the simulation. Our goal is to gather evidence to support or refute this claim up here about yellow always being adaptive in a yellow environment. So we're going to open up the simulation and go to camouflage mode. So we're going to come up here. We're going to open camouflage, load camouflage mode, yes. Come back here, it tells us to put on the biotic factor of carnithorns and make sure they are selected. So those are actually going to be the predators of the australope. So they're those little red ones there. Okay, we're going to turn on surface color to 7 and we're going to run it for 50 generations. So come here, our surface color will be yellow 7. And then you are going to run for 50 generations. So one way to speed this up, you can click here and do it in times 4 and just wait until it gets to 50. So you can see down here too, while it's running, you can click this little graph to see the histogram on how the australope population is changing over the 50 generations. Okay, once you run it for 50 generations, you can analyze and you can compare the traits at the starting population and after 50 generations. So I'm not going to show you that because I want you guys to do that part on your own. And then you can answer these questions here, seeing which ones are more likely and less likely to survive in the population. Okay, moving on to part 3. Now we are going to investigate environment B. So we are going to do the same exact thing, yellow level 7, camouflage mode, but we are not going to have predators in this one. Okay, so easy to do that. We just reload this. It will be the same setup, but we're going to go to build and now we're going to turn carnithorns off. Okay, same thing. We're going to run it for 50 generations. We can speed it up. We can watch the graph as it goes, and we can see what happens there. Okay, so we're looking to see, is this population going to adapt to the yellow environment? So let it run to 50 and get your answers for these ones here. Okay, so after you run those 2 tests, you should be able to see if the evidence supports or refutes the claim. So the claim, remember, is up here. Yellow is always an adaptive trait in a yellow environment. So you should have the information now to know if you have supporting or refuting evidence for that. And you can explain it here. Okay, moving on, we have modeling water storage predictions. So we're going to do a prediction sheet here. Once this will prompt you to make a copy of this drawing. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to use the shape tool here to fill out the histogram on this side. But you are also going to need to fill in these down here. So your goal is to predict how and why traits for increased levels of water storage can become more common in a thorn palm population. So think about what kind of tree would want to have a lot of water storage. Think about the environment. Is it going to be a tree in an environment that has a lot of rain or a little bit of rain? Which one would want to hold onto its water more? And you can look at that here, have a guess on what the rainfall looks like in this environment to what it would change to over here. And you can put these little boxes down here, and then you're going to use the shape tool to do this. And this is a prediction, so totally what you think. And then down here, so you'll put your prediction screenshot in here, and then down here you will be running this simulation to see. Okay, so we're going to go back to the simulation, and this time we're going to open up Thorn Pond water storage. Okay, so this one you'll see we only have the trees here. We're going to make changes to the rainfall level to what you think will make a high water storage trait become more common. So which level of rainfall will force the trees to adapt to having high water storage traits, which would be you can see here, this would be water storage 2, that would be low. You can look here and look at their trunks. You can see closely. This is a skinny trunk, so that does not hold much water, versus this one has a heavier trunk, which will hold more water. Okay, so you have to decide what your rainfall level will be in order to force the population to have more of those upper number in water storages, and answer those questions down here.